What if I told you that the title pharaoh, which we've all come to associate with ancient Egyptian rulers, actually began with a poor man's clever scheme? This isn't just any story, it's a fascinating tale from ancient Jewish texts that reveals how one man's ingenuity changed the course of Egyptian history forever. Picture ancient Babylon, where our story begins. Here lived a man named Rikian, whose name literally meant empty, a fitting description for someone who had nothing but his wit and good looks. Despite his striking appearance and remarkable intelligence, Rikian couldn't escape the clutches of poverty. But he had something that poverty couldn't take away, an unshakable determination to change his fate. Rikian had heard tales of Egypt's prosperity and its mysterious king, Asberos. With nothing to lose, he embarked on a journey to Egypt, carrying only his dreams and his brilliant mind. But upon arrival, he faced his first major obstacle. The king was practically invisible to his people, appearing only once a year to hold court. For anyone else, this would have been a dead end. But Rikian, he saw an opportunity. His first attempt at establishing himself was humble, a vegetable stall in the marketplace. But there was a problem. He couldn't speak Egyptian. In a foreign land with a foreign tongue, even the simplest transactions became impossible. Yet, where others might have given up, Rikian's mind was already formulating a bold new plan. Understanding that knowledge is power, he began gathering disciples. His intelligence and charisma attracted not just ordinary citizens, but even experienced military veterans. They were drawn to his wisdom, his teachings, and his vision. But Rikian knew that influence alone wouldn't be enough. He needed something more concrete. That's when he made his most audacious move. In a stroke of genius, or perhaps audacity, Rikian took control of the local cemetery. Now, this wasn't just any land grab. He implemented a revolutionary system. Nobody could bury their dead without paying an enormous fee of 200 gold pieces. But here's the clever part. He claimed this tax was being collected on behalf of the king himself. For 8 long months, this scheme continued. Rikian accumulated vast wealth, all while maintaining the facade that he was merely the king's tax collector. The citizens, believing this was a royal decree, had no choice but to comply. But as with all bold plans, there came a moment of truth. When the king finally held his annual court, the citizens burst forth with their complaints about this new burial tax. King Asberos was furious. He had never authorized such a thing. He immediately demanded that this mysterious Rikian be brought before him. But Rikian was ready. He had prepared for this moment with theatrical precision. Picture this, 1,000 young men, all magnificently dressed, riding on horseback, bearing expensive gifts for the king. And behind them, Rikian himself, mounted on a beautiful horse adorned with the finest trappings. This wasn't just an appearance, it was a spectacle. The court was stunned. Here was a man they expected to arrest, arriving like a foreign dignitary. But Rikian's masterstroke came when he began to speak. He shared insights so profound, wisdom so deep, that the king was completely captivated. In that moment, something remarkable happened. King Asberos didn't punish Rikian. Instead, he gave him a new name, Pharaoh, meaning payment. The very next day, Rikian, now Pharaoh, was appointed as viceroy, ruling Egypt every day except for the one when the king held court. Eventually, he would become king himself, and his new title, Pharaoh, would become the standard name for all future Egyptian rulers. This extraordinary tale teaches us something profound about human potential. Rikian didn't just overcome poverty, he reimagined his entire destiny. He took his limitations, his empty pockets, his inability to speak Egyptian, and turned them into stepping stones toward greatness. Think about that for a moment. In a world that often tries to put us in boxes, Rikian refused to be defined by his circumstances. He used his unique combination of intelligence, creativity, and daring to write his own story. And that's the message for all of us. You are unique, one in a trillion, with your own special combination of talents and abilities that nobody else possesses. Like Rikian, you have the power to transform your circumstances, to create something extraordinary from whatever starting point you find yourself in. Your journey might not lead to becoming a pharaoh, but it will lead to something uniquely yours, because no one else can do what you do in the way that you do it. Remember, greatness often begins with a single bold idea and the courage to pursue it. What's your bold idea? What unique path are you meant to forge? The story of Rikian shows us that sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead to the most extraordinary